I was going through some of your comments on a couple of my videos, and some of you guys have some really good insight. I want to say that first and foremost. I do read your comments. Even if I don't respond to you, sometimes I will at the very least read it. But someone had some really good insight on two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and there are definitely some benefits if you are looking to purchase a truck with two-wheel drive. One of the obvious advantages is pricing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go online and I'm going to show you guys pricing on each truck for the HD segment. This video is going to be kind of towards people who are looking to tow a fifth wheel, and for the most part, if you don't want a dually, sometimes you may have to look at a 1-ton diesel or a gas truck, either one. And I think that pricing is always going to be a factor. So let's go ahead and take a quick look online on how expensive it is for a full drive system.
For the sake of time, I'm only going to show you pricing for the Ram 3500s. Now, as far as the tradesman goes, this is the MSRP for four-wheel drive, and then this is the MSRP for two-wheel drive. The difference is going to be $2,930. Now, if you're looking at a Bighorn, this is the MSRP for four-wheel drive, and then this is the MSRP for two-wheel drive. The difference is $2,925. The Laramie is going to have the same difference in price as the tradesman at $2,930. However, the Longhorn is going to have $2,925. Limited is going to be $2,930 between the price difference. So I guess they did every other truck in a sense, which is pretty funny. But nevertheless, this is the price point. So you're going to spend about $3,000 to get full drive system.
Right now we're at the beach. You guys can see the waves crashing here, and I was just parked a little bit further up. If you could look on the ground there, my wife's gonna zoom in for you. I actually got stuck. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, if you're new to my channel. I do have a Nitto Ridge Grappler, which is a mud terrain tire, or all-terrain tire, whatever you want to call it. And I definitely got stuck. Now, obviously, you know, if you have a pickup truck, there's not a lot of weight over the axles in the rear. So most of your weight is going to be on the front. So that is probably one of the major advantages of having four-wheel drive. Now I'm going to demonstrate this for you too. So right now I'm parked, and if you look over here, the sand is actually dry. So I can expect to get stuck here. But if you look out where I was just at, the ground over there is actually a little damp, and my truck got stuck. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy on. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it in drive. Now I have traction control on. I will say, if you are a better driver, it may make sense, actually it's up here, it may make sense to turn this off and feather the pedal as you go. But I'm gonna keep traction control on because we're gonna be a newer driver here. So my wife's gonna point it over here now. And here we go. Now you can let it obviously roll, and then in that case, you know, you will get going. But I'm gonna stop it back here again because this is where it was a little bit more damp. All right, so here we go. So I have my foot off the gas. My truck's not moving. So if I go ahead, you can see the traction control coming on. And that's something I noticed too with these heavier trucks. They do actually shake violently when you don't have full drive. It feels really bad, actually. I don't know. I would definitely not buy a truck without full drive. I mean, here we go. Traction control's on. I'm gonna turn traction control off now. Let's see what happens. You know, for my comfort level, you know, I can kind of drive, and this sand again is not that like thick, so you don't get bogged down as much as you would like maybe at another beach, maybe like on the East Coast. But again, for my comfort level, I strongly recommend, if you are looking at buying a truck, if you do plan on going camping, you might find yourself wanting to go to the beach, and this might be a showstopper for you, even if you have all-terrain tires. I think with my tire setup, I have a pretty good dialed-in truck, and these tires are okay. I will say, Nitto Ridge Grapplers, I might pick a different tire because I find that when the roads are wet, or if I am in deeper sand or snow, the tires are not that great, in my opinion. The next thing you have to keep in mind, if you are looking at two-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive, is weight. Now, most guys, if you are towing fifth wheel, because you don't have the four-wheel drive system, you can probably gain an additional 250 pounds of weight on your truck, so of unsprung weight on your truck. So that's going to give you more payload capacity, so that way you'll be able to tow a little bit larger fifth wheel. And if you do want a higher trim level, you know, my truck is 3,700 pounds for my payload, so if I didn't have four-wheel drive, that would put me closer to 4,000 pounds, which would give me a little bit more capacity to tow a slightly bigger trailer. So just keep that in mind.
I want to go a little deeper into what I was talking about with the weights. Now, really quickly, I didn't know this, but if you are looking at ram boxes versus no ram boxes on a 3/4 ton truck, you do lose about 110 pounds by opting for those ram boxes. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you're looking at a 4x2 truck, now this is going to be a tradesman, 6'4" bed, turbo diesel. You have a 2,780 pound payload. Now, just below here, same truck, looking at the crew cab tradesman, 6'4" bed, 6'7" Cummins, you're gonna have a 2,500 pound payload capacity. So when you subtract it from this top number up here, that's 280 pounds. So that's how much you're losing in payload capacity if you do opt to have four-wheel drive on a 3/4 ton truck. Now, here's why I think Ram 1 tons makes a lot more sense if you're looking at fifth wheels. So here's the 4x2 trucks. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at the tradesman with the 6'4" bed, no ram boxes, 4x2, Cummins turbo diesel. The payload is 4,190 pounds. Now check out the gross vehicle weight rating, 11,500 pounds. Now, when you're looking at 1 ton trucks, Ram can play with that GVWR number a little bit more so because it's a 1 ton. Now look at it down here. If you're looking at a tradesman, 6'4" bed, 6'7" Cummins, 6'8" RF, you have a payload of 4,200 pounds. So again, you have a higher payload capacity in comparison with this truck because they actually raised the GVWR 300 pounds to accommodate that four-wheel drive system, so you don't lose anything if you get the Ram 3500. Now just keep in mind, if you're looking at a MegaCab, actually down here, if you're looking at MegaCabs, you only can get four-wheel drive in a MegaCab. You cannot get two-wheel drive. And on top of that, the last thing I'll say is if you are looking for as much payload as possible, you have to go with the 6'8" RF because the Eisen is going to reduce that payload down even further.
Now the last thing I'm going to show you guys, I just got my truck stuck, so this is a good test here for you guys. Truck stuck, tides coming in. I have a two-wheel drive truck. Here's what's going to happen. Out. I'm gonna turn traction control off. It is not coming out. Now, I am going to go ahead and push it into four-wheel drive. You can be rolling at low speed for four-wheel drive high, and I think you have to be in 3 miles an hour or less for four-wheel drive low. I recommend this being in neutral when you do four-wheel drive low personally, but here we go. So four-wheel drive, traction control is on. Let's do it with on, and here you go. There it is. In my opinion, you know, you do get a little bit more capacity. It is a lot more maintenance. I didn't mention that, but there is more maintenance having four-wheel drive, so that is something you save by having a two-wheel drive truck. But I think peace of mind is what I would definitely be buying here. And again, the odds of you getting stuck is really up to you. Sometimes people just don't know how to drive. So, I mean, this isn't that deep. Let's take a look real quick. That's not deep at all. So when you think about it, you know, even having a pretty beefy tire, and I mean, I still have a good amount of tread left on this tire. It's just not enough to get this truck out of a sticky situation. Now, one thing to consider too is if you do air down your tires, that will allow your tires to float over the sand. So if you do get a two-wheel drive truck, the odds are if you get stuck again, it's because you're just not experienced, you're not thinking. But if you air down the tires, you can clearly, you know, float over the sand, and you should have a better luck of getting out. And, you know, if you do have some heavy stuff at your RV, you can put some weight in the back of the truck, and that'll also allow your tires to get traction too. So just keep those things in mind, you know, if you are looking at a two-wheel drive truck. See you guys really soon, and I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this beautiful view. This beautiful, beautiful view. Later.